To the Royal Court Theatre, February 2009. Dear Dominic Cook, we, in common with other non-Jewish acquaintances, were disturbed at the idea of 7 Jewish children at the Royal Court, but decided to see the play. Your production was immaculately staged, but the content was dangerously one-sided to anyone not convinced of its political or even humanitarian premise. The point here is not about religion, or now even Middle East politics. It is about balance. There are elements of Miss Churchill's play that demand a literal dramatic response. Yours sincerely, Richard Stirling.
To Evergreen Theatrical Productions. Dear Richard Stirling...
No! The Royal Court does not allow us to report their response.
Even where they say their play needs no response.
The Royal Court does not allow us to report their response.
Ask him if he's happy.
Ask him what he wants to be.
Ask him. Don't frighten him.
Don't ask him things he doesn't know.
Ask him to say a word in English.
Ask him if he remembers the English.
Don't ask him why they left. Don't ask him things that we don't know.
Ask him to be careful.
Ask him if he likes the game, how to tell who's bad in the game.
Ask him what they say at school.
Ask him what the school books say about the other side.
Ask him if he knows them by their look.
Ask him how lucky they are that it happened to bring them here.
Ask him if he would like to draw a picture.
Ask him for a picture of his home.
Ask him to draw that.
Ask him to remember that. Ask him always to remember that.
Ask him if he still thinks of his mother.
Ask him not to sing.
Ask him if he knows why we don't sing.
Ask him if he understands the Nakba.
Do not ask him about the Nakba.
Ask him if he knows he is still loved.
Ask him if he knows he's not wanted.
And ask him why we have no friends.
Ask him if he likes his new room.
Ask him why he has a new room.
Don't ask him to play next door.
Don't ask him not to make new friends.
Ask him who plays tricks on him in school.
Ask him who's the sneaky one, the greedy one.
Ask him who hides behind stones and trees.
Ask him where his friends are now.
Don't ask him if he misses them.
Ask him where his home is now.
Ask him where their money comes from.
Ask him about money from New York.
Don't ask him what he thinks of money.
Ask him why we need money too.
Ask him what he thinks of Stalin's purges.
Ask him about conscription.
Ask him why not.
Ask him why not sign up.
Ask him if he knows the other side of all signed up.
Ask him does he know he must sign up.
Don't ask him not to be a boy.
Ask him not to listen to the old.
Ask him if he thinks differently now.
Ask him if he wants to be a hero.
No! Please do not ask him that.
Ask him if he's heard of the IDF.
Ask him if he understands that what they grab, they cling to.
Ask him if he knows they cannot help it.
Ask him what he thinks of the IDF.
No, don't ask him why they've started fighting back.
Ask him what it means to share.
No! Do not ask him that.
Ask him why we hate them.
Ask him why so many hate them.
Ask him what they do with children's blood.
Ask him what he thinks of tribes, or if he thinks of them as one. Ask him what he thinks of when he thinks of them.
Ask him not to complicate it.
Ask him if he knows he's stateless.
Ask him to know his enemy, to say their name as often as he can.
Ask him if he knows why they have always been despised.
Ask him if we had to lose.
Don't ask him why we lost the land.
Ask him why we lost yet more land.
Ask him to name one friend.
No. Never ask him to name a friend.
Ask him if it's going to change.
Ask him if they'll ever leave.
Ask him of their swimming pools, what he sees on TV.
Ask him where the water's gone.
Ask him why his mother can't get clean.
Ask him to describe the filth.
Don't ask him what we're told to make him do.
Don't ask of him what the teachers ask of him.
Ask him what he knows of paradise.
Ask him if he knows we'll miss him.
Ask him if it's time.
Don't ask him if we can win.
Don't ask him if we are winning.
Ask him how it feels to win.
Ask him as a winner.
Ask him how we cannot win, with so many listening to us.
Ask him what to show the camera.
Ask him to ask, where's the Warsaw Ghetto now?
Ask him how many dead children he's seen.
And don't ask him how many dead soldiers.
Ask him to give thanks he has this chance.
Ask him if he knows the way to the bus stop.
Don't ask him to be careful.
Ask him if he knows about our friends.
Ask him if he knows they have no friends.
Ask him if he knows about our friends in Europe.
Ask him if he knows what they say.
Don't ask him. He knows.
Ask him what he thinks they think of him.
Well, ask him how they think he is oppressed.
Ask him what he really thinks they know.
Ask him if they know anything.
Don't ask him if this makes him happy.
Ask him not to look so happy.
Ask him about liberty. Ask him if it matters. Ask him if they have the right to tell him what he does not need to hear.
Right.
Do not ask him that.
Ask him! Ask him if he's proud to be a fighter. Proud to be a man. Ask him about the old people's home. Ask him to recite their names. If he wants to be the only one who doesn't shout their names. Ask him if he knows they're dead. Ask him if he saw their blood. Ask him if he's sure. Good to be sure. Good to be sure. Don't ask him to be ashamed. Ask him whose fault it is they're dead. Ask him if they ever had a right to live here. Ever had a right to live. Ask him if he doesn't see they've always played the victim. Glad to do so now. A self-fulfilling prophecy. A chosen people asking him for death. Ask him if he feels sorry for them. Don't ask him to feel sorry for them. Ask him not to feel suffering for them. Not to feel anything for them. Ask him to cloak himself. To hide in the fog, to stay concealed, to keep on killing until he feels safe. Ask him if he knows when we shall be safe. Ask him if he really thinks we shall have friends. Don't ask him to ask for friendship. We have friends where we want them, where we need them. And ask him not to think of anything but how to keep people behind us. To ask, not tell, to ask, not tell, to ask most softly, how else are we to survive? How else are we to win? Ask him if he will not join with me at laughing at the body of the hook-nosed teacher. Ask him if I'd care if we rubbed them out, took them off the map. The world will thank us. They are ready to thank us. Ask him if he can ever do better than this. Better in the world's eyes. Ask him to look at the body of a child on their side and ask him what he feels. Don't ask him what I feel. Ask him to give thanks it is not him.
Ask him this.
Ask him to be glad.
Ask him if Hitler had the wrong idea.